Hey everyone, it's week 32 and welcome to another Project Life Process video. This week I'm doing something a little different and I'm taking this old ephemera pack from Basic Gray, and since it only has about 10 pieces or so in it, I decided to try and use all of them on a single layout. And I think this was a fun way to sort of just force myself to use supplies and maybe in a way I wouldn't normally, or pick embellishments that I wouldn't normally. And yeah, I enjoyed doing this layout. It was kind of fun to slap things on there and just go with it. So I started off with this arrow that said hey, and I thought that was a good way to start my journaling card. And then I took another little embellishment that has the sunburst on it and kind of put that on the other end. And then I have these two Instax photos. I start to use Instax photos more in my layouts because I really like the way they look mounted on pattern paper. And here I've just got two pattern papers. One I think is from the Bloom collection from Maggie Holmes, and the other I think is from Grand Bazaar by Basic Gray, I want to say. So I just stapled those on there, and then I'm going to pull out the embellishments to see what I can fit on there. And on the picture on the left, I end up picking just this really small heart that has a similar pattern to the journaling card beneath it. And then I'm playing around with this other one. I tried to use this orange and yellow typewriter I'm about to pull like everywhere, and it just doesn't work anywhere. But I do decide, hey, why not put these glasses on this picture? And that's fun sometimes because I feel like you get very literal with your embellishment sometimes, or at least I do, where I'm like, oh, like I don't wear glasses or whatever, where am I going to use this? But why not just put it there? It doesn't look bad and it's fine. So then I put this camera on this 4x6 photo that's cut up into two 3x4 photos, and since it's just a not super interesting picture of like the courtyard at the hospital I was at, I thought that it was fine for that to like take up a lot of space in the photo. And then here I have a circular journaling spot, and I just put it on the edge and chopped it off. And so that was another way to incorporate the embellishments. And then on the next card, I'm going to work on the title card. And one thing I do a lot is if you have a flower embellishment, sometimes I don't like the way they can kind of just like sit in the middle of something and it looks kind of like a blob sometimes. So what I really like to do is paste it on the edge of a card or a photo and then cut off the sides and then add the sides back on. And I just always love the way this turns out. It really frames the photo nicely, and like here I totally love the result. So then right after that, I'm going to stamp the number on the title card. This is the same thing I do every single week. And that way the flowers kind of frame the number nicely. Then I have to stamp the week on. I think it was too light the first time I stamped it, so I picked this darker teal ink from Hero Arts, the hardest stamp ink brand to name ever. And then I fill in the bubbles on the numbers as always. So then on this picture of myself, there's a lot of blank space and it's not a picture with a lot of interest anyway. So I'm just going to use the same date label stamp that I use every single week. And I'm going to layer it with this ticket that I've seen in a bunch of Basic Gray collections. I really like it. So you might see that pop up in other places because I have a whole 12x12 sheet of them. But this one came in the ephemera pack. And I pulled this label in here. I really like this cute little label tag thing. And so, yeah, those are... that little cluster is done. The only thing is, this is when I couldn't find my date stamp, so I just left it as is, and I already have purchased a new date stamper, and I just went back in later and stamped that in. So that worked out. And then on this last one, the only embellishment I have left is the typewriter, and it's still not working for me, so I decide to use some letter stickers from Kelly Perky's monthly kit that I get, and yeah, just spell out a phrase on the bottom there. I end up throwing the typewriter away, because if you just don't like an embellishment, then why would you force yourself to use it, right? And if I use 9 out of 10 in a pack, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the layout. It's a little more eclectic than usual, but it was really fun to do because there was not a lot of pressure. It was just like, hey, slap this down here and there, and I was happy with it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon in the next one.